And before you get to that article shit, man, acknowledge your brother.
Mr. Nate Cohn, Mr. Nate Cohn, and the New York Times. Mr. Nate Cohn, the New York Times, who is no conservative. He is as lefty gets, and he talks about the perceived voter suppression that always gets talked about and what happens afterwards. There's a higher engagement of voting amongst the perceived suppression group whenever people talk about that. So even if people are trying to suppress votes, whatever they've done since the 1965 Voting Rights Act has not worked. So this fear of
so you're acknowledging that it does happen, but you just
I'm just saying this bill is not that. Okay, this bill is not that. This bill is very consistent with other states, other blue states around the nation.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Okay, you can wholeheartedly disagree, sir, but you can go look at states like Delaware, like New York, like Colorado, and they are very consistent with what this bill is.
Hold on, Christian. Are you telling me that the MLB took away the All-Star game in Atlanta in the state of Georgia, and they've now moved it to Colorado, who has similar voting laws?
Yes, very similar voting laws. Okay,
wow.
Hey, in the state of Georgia, you can only early voting is only 17 days. Well, in the state of Colorado, it's 15. Hey, in the state of Georgia, you have to provide a photo ID in order to vote. Well, you also have to in the state of Colorado. Oh, in the state of Georgia, people are restricted from for handing out food. Well, also too in the state of Colorado. So I mean, I don't.
Okay, so all right, so those are the same, right? However, how much attention should be put on the fact that, like, hey, Georgia, you wasn't once like this before.
Mm-hmm.
Why all of a sudden? And I ain't gonna lie to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they are trying to pull the wool over their eyes and like frame this as like voter suppression, because like I don't think obviously, in the beginning we was doing a presidential debate, like I think like House of Cards is not far off.
Real shit though. Real.
Like, yeah, so like I don't think the House of Cards is far off.
And everybody out the audience,
I know,
Christian is a prime example of the Matrix when the person doesn't choose is it the red pill? Or is it yeah, so he's a blue pill guy.
Hold on.
I'll leave that there. So.
Who, me?
Hold on, look, before y'all hold on, don't say that. Guy? Let me go, guys. Let me go. So with the whole like election, like the state board election and county board state election, I ain't gonna lie. If Kemp is doing that to finesse like his staying power, that's a hell of a plan. I ain't gonna front the game like that.
Yeah, if he's doing that, that's
a hard.
There's an allegation.
Yeah.
There's an allegation.
All of a sudden, since they came out in droves, he all of a sudden do it now. Yeah, come on, bro.
Well, I'm saying your explanation. There's an allegation. There's an allegation that the current person in power is doing this to stay in power.
Man, I don't know. I didn't research
gun laws. Christian, Coach Johnson, you have an opinion about that? Why they're trying to pass all these specific gun laws and trying to increase the background check on guns and trying to, really put stipulations on the easy access to guns? Why is that? Why are they trying to change the laws?
Wait. You say it again.
Why are they trying to change the law for the access and accessibility to purchase and or own firearms within the United States? They are tightening stipulations and making the review process longer in order to kind of, repel, those, purchasing of guns just due to the fact that we've had so many shootings in the past 3 to 4 years, domestic cases of, public shootings, shootings at schools, et cetera, the Las Vegas shooting, The list goes on and on.
So are you
why do you think what? And the question is, and I guess I just answered it, right? But it's like, why all of a sudden are they trying to pass these reformed gun laws? It's because it's a reactionary impulse to what society has been dealing with on par for what, 3 to 4 to 5 years, really longer than that, but it's just been ramping up. So I said all of that to say this, man, it's the same ordeal when these laws come into place about the voting, right? Because we do know in Georgia that just happened, you know, in the past election, there was a lot of controversy surrounding Georgia with how many people came out to vote and how many people were, you know, oppressed in the process of trying to vote, that really, you know, a crowd of population of people who traditionally didn't vote like that before. And it shocked the other side. I'll let y'all fill in the blank contextually.
No,
the other side is.
No.
But,
I think okay. So for someone who represents the other side, I think let me explain what you're trying to say there.
You don't have to explain what I'm trying to say, but you can respond to what I was trying to say, because I believe I put it in layman's.
Okay. Let me make what you try to say more. I'll make it more clear.
Why you still talk over? I feel you though. Go ahead.
From this side, in response to the 2016 presidential election, right? In response to the 2016 election, right? Republicans in Georgia, right, had no issue with the number of people voting. No issue with the number of people voting. The issue was with irregularities in the voting, right? So it's not that
Would that correlate to the number of people voting?
Huh?
Quick question: did that have any correlation with the number and volume of people voting? The irregularities? Is it any correlation? I just yes or no?
It could. It could be. You have more.
Okay.
But listen. Here's the thing. Every election, there are some irregularities, right? There's disagreement about how much, but every election there's some irregularities. Why? Because humans make mistakes. Okay, that's an issue, right? Humans make mistakes. Okay, now you have more humans doing something, more mistakes are going to be made just by humans being humans. Okay, not to say that somebody's doing something nefarious, but humans make mistakes. Okay, that happens, right? So there could have been more just because more humans were voting. Okay, their issue is that, hey, when we see some irregularities, and we're not doing anything about that, we question, wait, why is that? Right? So
here's the answer to that question. I don't mean to cut you off, but like irregularities in the form of, we said it could possibly be due to volume, right? So building back to my causation point of every action has an equal and opposite reaction, like I think the irregularities could quite possibly stem from the state of society and people not wanting the same officials that have been running a shit show in a lot of people's minds, right? And they wanted to they wanted to have a voice and say so in, who would be running, the next X amount of years for whether that's
but that has nothing to do
or the federal level. In my opinion, I do disagree.
I got you.
Hold on. Before you go, Christian, he disagrees with you. Y'all on different sides. This isn't about converting right now. So
right. Exactly.
let's make the conversation productive and not rebuttal for rebuttal at this point.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily trying to rebut him. I'm just trying to say, I just want to make it clear, right? From me and every Republican I know, which I know a lot. I think I know more Republicans than a lot of people listening to this. The issue is not how many people are voting. The issue is to make sure that everyone that votes correctly, and that we're able to track it correctly, right? And that we don't have people voting who are not supposed to vote, and that we don't have things that are not up to par. Because everyone wants to have faith that, hey, at the end of the day, whatever number comes out, no matter if it's a R at the end of the name, that one, or a D at the end of the name, or something else, we all want to have confidence that, hey, this thing was run well. We don't want to look back at it at the end of the day and say something fishy happened. We want to know that it ran well. So these laws are put in place to make sure that we know that it ran well. Go ahead, Darnell.
I want to say kind of like not even back up, but it's kind of give you a little bit of I guess another vision of it. The main issue that people have with it is back in, like you said, in 2016, there was no laws being made due to the results of, but due to the situation of beforehand, it tends to ruffle more feathers. But I said that to say, hopefully I don't really lose track of the thought because I was kind of holding on while you was talking. It gets a bit fishy when it's like things don't go your way. Like me and you both have children. When our children don't get their way, that's when they act a fool. That's when they tear up shit. That's when things go left field, when they don't get their way. But when everything's all sweet and cool, it's all buttery, it's all rainbows and unicorns, it's all great. But that moment that child doesn't get their way, oh, everything has to change. I'm gonna raise hell. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make a difference. And that's the way that a lot of people are viewing this situation. Oh, you didn't win the election. Oh, we gotta change this. We gotta change that. We gotta flip this over. Oh hell no, we gotta go all up in the Capitol. We gotta do everything we can do just to make our point be known. But that's what we're seeing. I understand both sides, but that's just what us as the other side are seeing.